What the fuck is up? It's the Smoking Tire Podcast. Woo! We are on the road, and this is we're gonna share the show.
I think we are.
We're gonna share this show.
I like that, because then I don't have to work today.
No, because we're both at work together. Why should
Another
we
day Opie doesn't have to work.
And then we got Chef Carl Ruiz, we got Greg Opie Hughes.
Turning off the phone.
Phone off. Thank you, sir. This is a pleasure. We're at La Cubana, Carl's new restaurant, where Carl has been since I saw him 12 hours ago.
I have the same stories with this guy. I came in for a rare day in New York City because in the summer I just chill out at the beach and fish and send Carl.
You got a big one the other day. So you were on a boat and got a fat one.
Oh, the fish, yes.
Yeah, the fat.
Yes,
oh, no. No, and then Carl, that's Carl in the restaurant.
No, but I came in to do a podcast with Carl. I got a rare day. I'll be in New York City. I came to La Cubana, just like you said, but I found him passed out in booth 78.
78. I was in 76.
You've learned the table.
No, this is 76.
We're in 76 now.
Yeah.
Oh.
You told me to set up in 76.
Yeah. So I was in 78.
78 passed out, and they were checking his pulse. I'm like, oh, that's good. Carl's ready to podcast.
That's the run through it. Oh, that's how I found him today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I brought it up.
I don't remember his name, but dude over there in the white shirt. I was like, hey, I'm Matt. Is Carl around? He's like, oh, I'll look for him. I was like, oh, if he's busy, don't worry about it. He goes, we have different definitions of busy. And he leads me over here, and Carl's asleep on the couch. And he's like, hey, buddy, your friend Matt's here.
And what does it say about us, Matt, that we both love this guy?
Oh, my God.
Me and you had the issues, not him.
Oh, my God. It was so funny. So, strangers in the room on my podcast, Greg, Opie Hughes. We're going to drop the Greg, but half of the Opie and Anthony program for 20 plus years.
We made it to about 20.
20?
Yeah.
And then the Opie Radio Show, and now the Opie Radio Podcast.
Yes.
You and your former radio hosts are the reason I started doing this podcast.
Damn it. Another guy that's more successful than me and got...
so mad.
I got the inspiration from the Opie.
Go back. You want to talk about your summer home Long Island?
He's so rich. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, you're doing all right. But you guys were the first on your early years of satellite radio.
Yeah.
You guys, with Jimmy as well, were the first people that I ever really heard talk like Howard had his overtly sexual and pushing the limits of that, whereas you guys sort of had the comics on and talked like the green room behind the Comedy Store.
Can I add to that?
Please.
Because a lot of people, when you do shock jock or edgy radio, Howard has to say, they're ripping me off, Robin.
Right.
Here's the difference. So when I wasn't really a big Howard Stern fan, but I listened to him, here and there when I could. So, because I wanted to learn from the business. He was still a broadcaster through all that.
Uh-huh.
And me and Anthony came up with a style where, I have a lot of radio experience, been doing this a long time.
You mean a broadcaster in terms of a format that they were following?
Yes. And his voice and everything was,
I'm a big fan.
Classical radio.
Yeah.
Big fan, Howard. Big fan.
And you added a lot there, Carl.
No, you guys...
Carl wants everyone to like him. It's the best.
I do. I'm terrified.
I'm terrified he is. He's got this crazy multi-million-dollar restaurant in New York City, so he wants everyone to like him.
Big fan, Howard.
Food
Robin.
Super good.
Yeah. So, but we developed a style where it's like, man, like this. We're just hanging out. So why can't we just hang out, talk, and put it on the radio? Why does it have to be overly polished? And
even Rogan credits you guys for inspiring.
Another guy that's more successful than me, but got the inspiration from the Opie show.
No, I mean, he grinds it out. He does put in the work. Those three, I've done Rogan. Those shows are marathons.
I did.
Rogan has special chairs. Have you seen his special chairs?
No, I haven't been there in a while.
Special podcasting chairs in his studio that sort of look like desk chairs, but they have the seat is almost like one of those old geriatric bike seats. Nice. Where it's actually like a big fat ass bike seat,
right?
That and with a back support that you can sit in for 3 hours without shifting around a bunch. It was really neat.
I haven't been there in a couple of years, but
Well, he's got the new place.
yeah, I
He's
haven't
got
been in the new place.
You got the now it's like Man Cave is like
Yeah.
Man Costco over there. Like he bought like an empty Walmart.
Yeah.
And he's got like an indoor archery range,
Which is cool.
which is crazy. And he parks those cars over there.
Big fan, Joe Rogan, big fan.
And one of those float tanks. He's got a float tank.
I floated recently.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
What was the tank like? Because like I did it at a resort, and it was really kind of like a room with a dark hot tub in it, not like a capsule so much.
Mine was like a decent-sized walk-in closet.
Mm-hmm.
So it was about 8 feet long and maybe 6 feet across.
And were you able to like go to space mentally?
Yes.
I was for a bit, but I did it as sort of this romantic thing with Hannah.
Yeah.
So we were both in one
Really?
pool together.
Really?
So you'd occasionally bump into each other
Right.
and kind of be taken out of that mental I'm in space thing.
I was going to tell this story on my podcast.
Well,
but
this is your podcast.
It is our
It's
podcast.
also-
We're sharing this podcast. So it was interesting you said romantic. So yeah, I went to space big time. And you notice like you couldn't push your body down?
Yeah.
Wasn't that crazy with...
Well, because the salt, they really crank up the salt in the water. They could cook pasta in that.
And I'm a good meditator, and I'm good at like just silencing the voices in my head. And so I'm in there, right? Oh man, I can't believe I'm going to say this.
Say it.
All right, so speaking of being romantic, like, so I'm about an hour in, and I start getting a funny feeling.
Oh, God. Oh,
You got
God.
a boner?
And I'm like, wow, this is kind of erotic, then, right? This is what I loved out of that podcast.
Your ultimate sexual fantasy is being in space alone.
You
Well, that's
actually
what I'm
felt like
thinking
a
on that.
Cuban.
Now I'm starting to think like, wow,
We float in the water constantly.
I'm like, wow, I got a boner in space right now.
Yeah, there you go.
So I had a boner, and I'm like, I still got 20 minutes left. What the
Oh,
hell?
Jesus. Is this-
No.
I go, what the hell?
Did
Right?
you?
Oh.
And because I think it's...
You rubbed it out?
Yes.
Good for you.
But
Good for you.
here's the best part. So I'm thinking because, we're floating, and it's really... it was me.
We.
There was
it
no-
was we afterwards.
Yeah.
Me and a couple million
Opie
of my
talks to
friends.
Rich Opie. Hey, Rich Opie, what are we doing? We're jerking off.
So I'm floating. It feels like you're in space after a while. It's pitch dark. You can't see the hand in front of you. And you got the earplugs in, so you can't hear
You had
anything.
earplugs going on.
So you really take out all the senses.
Yeah.
And now I'm feeling like I got a boner in space right now, man. So
I think you just sold me on it.
so I decided to rub it out. But now I'm thinking, it's dark. So, I would
Yeah.
assume the remnants just go away.
Oh, yeah, they go out into space. Nope. What happened when they turned the lights
So
on?
you have Happy Mayo just fucking swimming around you?
When I turned the light on,
You got Happy Mayo swimming around you?
when I turned the light on,
Oh.
I went into a complete panic because there was egg drop soup everywhere.
Opie was in a stracciatella.
You're an egg drop soup.
Everywhere.
Oh my God.
I guess
Stracciatella.
I guess it was.
Does the salt water break it down?
But I'm thinking
It preserves it. It's like 100-year-old yolk.
I'm thinking it's so dark, and with the salt and the darkness,
God,
this
you created
will
a
go
petri
away on its
dish.
own, right?
No.
I panicked, and I'm like, it took me right out of my experience as I'm scooping up egg
Oh
drop
my
soup.
God.
So
You definitely
handled it?
I had to. I couldn't just leave and
Oh
leave
my
that mess
God.
for the people that were kind enough to have me.
Oh my God! That remember when I was a little kid. There was a place called Dollar Video, and it was a video store, and they had a little porn section with a curtain. So I decided that I was going to go and check out the porn section. And I was a kid, and I see all the porn covers of all the videos.
Right. Which section did it go in?
Which I got very excited. So I gave myself a Sidewinder, right? So I'm giving myself a Sidewinder.
I have never heard that term before, but I immediately know what you're talking about.
exactly. If you're a guy, you know what a Sidewinder is, right?
Wait, as you're standing there?
I'm standing inside this little curtained area of the video store,
Right.
just looking at the.
Are you in a peep booth or just in the aisles? Looking
No.
at
The
title?
aisle was cordoned off.
Right, okay.
And I
gotcha.
went inside and I saw all the
Yeah.
boxes, and I was immediately aroused. I'm Cuban. I was ready to go, right? ready to make fucking 19 kids, right? And I'm starting to give myself a Sidewinder, and I thought it was all cool.
Yeah.
Then I got out. I got the Transformer, and then I came out, and I go pick up the Transformers movie box, which is what I wanted. Like, back then it was a cartoon Transformers movie. And I come up to the counter, and there's a girl. She's like 19 years old. And
that's cruel and unusual punishment to let a 19-year-old girl,
As I'm handing her the video that I want to rent, she looks at me, and I look up, and there's a short circuit TV that had a camera.
She didn't know what you were
where the porn section was. She watched me sidewind myself.
No way.
And I give her this, and she goes, "You're fucking disgusting." And I was gonna go, "Yup,
Yes.
bad day. This is a bad day."
Oh, that's brutal.
That was a real life story.
Wow.
So, radio.
Exactly. Can I talk about my fish?
The fish you caught the other
Did you
day?
mention it?
You
Yeah.
caught a giant, was it striped bass?
Striped bass. We didn't measure it, but probably like 42 inches.
That's a huge striped bass.
Yeah, and
You didn't measure it. You sound like fucking Rain Man. I didn't measure it, but it's 42.6.
If you're a fisherman,
You
you
have
want
to
to be
measure
able
it,
to
right?
tell
To keep
people.
Oh, so
that
you
was the
throw it
biggest one
back.
I ever.
Got it.
Yeah. So people got mad at me because I gave away the spot. Do you deal with shit like this?
Okay, so yes and no.
Because you fish a little bit, right?
I don't fish. I drive cars on beautiful roads in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, and you're giving away spots.
For a long time,
okay.
I had when I made my videos, I would actually put the location because I thought for some very stupid reason that a global audience might gain some use from that.
Right.
After a while, I started to get very angry emails from locals who were saying, "Quit putting fucking titles of the roads in the video, you asshole." And I said, "You know what? You guys are completely right." And I stopped doing it. So now if people ask me, what road, I'll tell them.
Yeah.
But I don't advertise it.
See, that's why I brought it up. So
did you literally tag the Instagram picture with the exact
no,
spot?
But so when you see my fishing pictures, which Carl hates, and my wife at this point,
dude, he sends his wife pictures. I'm like, your wife is young and hot.
Give a shit.
I was going through his phone once. I'm like, are you sending your hot fucking wife pictures of your stupid fish? And he's like, did she text me back? Wow, big one. I'm like, she's exhausted by you.
She just wants to be chill.
Yeah, you need to follow Fish
She's at the house on the beach, and you're like, look, and you're literally 10 feet from her.
Last time I'm gonna bitch about somebody if I'm fishing.
Can you identify the spot in the picture?
No, so here's the deal. So when I take my pictures, I'm a surf caster.
Yeah.
I don't show the houses because it gives away spots. So I sort of know that. So, but I was excited about that fish, and if you notice, most people that take pictures of their fish from a boat, they're always facing out
because
toward
they
the
don't want to
ocean.
show where the
it's
spot
a real
is.
thing.
Yeah,
I made a rookie mistake, and people start bitching like, "Oh, come on, man! You just gave away the spot. I know exactly where that is, and if I do, other people know, man. And that is a good spot for striped bass."
Right.
So,
well, there's the thing about social media in general, and not just fishing. It's like people can use it for good, or they can use it to be assholes, right? So if I tell people the name of a road, even if anyone who is 2 points above complete mongoloid can find that road.
Yeah.
It's not hard to find the road. It's like, look for the squiggly things. You know what I mean? It's not hard. Fishing is different because I guess there's a limited amount of fish and whatever.
I don't know.
You know what happens in LA where how's the surf spots? Too. The surf people don't want to give away the surf spots. They don't want to crowd those. With the roads, they don't want. I think it's less of a problem with the roads because, I
think it's just that people like to bitch about anything. Because in the end, it's not really going to make that much of a difference.
I don't think it matters.
Right.
No. I made out with a girl that follows me on Twitter.
Yes.
Congratulations. That's never happened to me.
What'd she look like?
Not like her profile.
So we both
Carl.
like whaling.
Carl, how are you feeling at this very moment right now?
I am so hungover. I'm a fan of Matt. I'm a fan of Opie. I'm not a fan of Matt and Opie because both are professional broadcasters, and I'm completely lost in this.
And we're sitting in the corner of a restaurant on a Yeti microphone right now. I think the professional broadcaster has gone out the window.
Maddie's hairpiece
with a troll doll.
I love you both. I love you both. The last time I saw Matt, and then Matt came to the restaurant, I said, it really made me happy. You know what I love about Matt? Matt's honest. He's an honest human being.
Yeah.
And that's hard to find. Yeah. I brought him one of the dishes that I love to do here is like a fried lamb. So he's there with his wife who tolerates me.
Anna loves Carl.
I love her.
Don't let him say that. Anna does love Carl.
I went to the wedding. Matt had the best wedding I've ever been to, where during the ceremony, there was buckets of Coronas on each aisle.
That's actually a Hannah family tradition.
So you can drink Coronas while they got married.
Hannah sent me one of the nicest. Carl sent me a text message a couple days ago. Yeah. The wedding was 2 months ago. Yeah. And he goes, I think it was probably 1:30 in the morning New York time.
Yeah.
And he goes, I was just sitting at the bar thinking about your wedding. I plan events for a living, and that was one of the best events I've ever been to. It was such a nice compliment.
I would have to take your word for it, because if I remember correctly, the last time we podcasted, someone was hinting at bringing me as his guest so I could enjoy Matt Farah's
I would have been happy to have you, but I thought it was weird to invite you because we'd met twice. I thought that would be weird.
But I was going to go as his guest, if you remember, but then he forgot.
I took some girl who...
Oh, well, then that's okay.
And we...
How's it worked out with her?
Oh, my God, what a breakup.
So my now sister-in-law was like, man, that guy Carl was really funny, but that girl he was with did not look happy.
No. So that was the beginning of the end.
Oh, that was the beginning of the breakup.
So she was a young girl, and God bless her. She doesn't understand strategy. I was living with her because I got rid of my cabin,
the creepy cabin,
and I said to her, I said, listen, I'm about to open a restaurant in New York City. I need you to calm down. Right? A lot of things are going to happen. A lot of things are going to start happening. I'm going to start drinking a lot.
Wait, start?
No, like the way I am
relatively.
Now. Relative.
Oh, okay.
Like right now, I'm like Arthur. Dudley Moore. I'm Dudley Moore.
You're like Cuban Arthur.
Cuban Arthur.
Arturo.
So there was one night. It was the day before the opening of the restaurant, and it's 11 o'clock. And it started raining outside crazy. And I texted her, I said, I'm not coming home because I don't want to be on a train for an hour. It's raining a lot. She says, if you don't come home, don't come home ever. I said, wow.
It's not a good threat for Carl because he is perfectly happy sleeping on this couch for a month and a half.
I'm in
thought he was home.
In a $3.5 million build out. They just put in the couches and they're teal. And I'm kidding. And I go, okay.
And that was that?
So 3 days later, she's like,
that's a rookie move, man.
Rookie.
Right?
I was just a rookie. She just, I mean.
You got to know Carl, you're not gonna take that.
Bill Boggs. She Bill Boggsed it. It was just a mess. And then
he was Munson out in the middle of nowhere.
And then she's like, are you seeing someone? I'm like, 11.
Oh, man.
I'm on 15th Street in Manhattan. Like, what are you going to do?
How many of these booths have you had sex in at this point?
4.
Including this one.
4.